How's it going? Charles Botenston. Today we're going to be talking about something that is ridiculous. Okay, so I probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I put out a video about being addicted to things. And it's one of those things that, I'll just start with what The Matrix is. So The Matrix, essentially, yes, it's a movie, but if you really, really follow The Matrix and the brilliancy of the writing, you'd be like, wow, that is today. That's like nowadays. Like up until about, say, a 1,000 years ago, or maybe even 500 years, maybe even less, probably up until about 200 years ago, there was a matrix, but not really, because the forms of like survival was at everyone's top priority. Getting food, getting clean water, housing, clothing was the priority of everyone. Now, people's priority is what's going to entertain me, which brings up addiction. Because back in the day, addiction was mostly drugs and alcohol, or maybe sex, but not really, because you might have died of a venereal disease, or you fathered too many people, you fathered too many kids. But now there are so many addictions. Addictions to sugar, social media, TV, anything on your phone, gaming. Like all of this is recent addictions. And these are not good addictions at all. So The Matrix, going back to that, is essentially where you feel you cannot create your life. And you're just stuck in a bubble. And you just say, this is how things are. That was how I thought for 22 years of my life. I literally said everything I wanted was for someone else. And I just went through my life. And I didn't know I can create it. So there's an amazing scene in The Matrix. And Neo gets told by Morpheus. So Neo is, whatever the heck his name is, Keanu Reeves. And he's bald and he's just goes through this whole crazy thing. And he wakes up and he sees Morpheus He looks at Morpheus and he goes, why do my eyes hurt? And Morpheus looks down and he says one of the most brilliant lines that nobody got. I didn't get it until the second time I saw it, which was probably within the last 3 months. And Morpheus looks down at him and he says, because you've never used your eyes before. In other words, you were seeing like, oh, okay, there's things around me. But you never used your eyes. In other words, you never actually questioned things. You never questioned yourself. You never questioned society or government or how things are. You never questioned it. You just went with it. People are in the matrix and this is most people's lives. And I'll talk about addiction in a second. This is most people's lives. Most people's lives is they're born, they go to school, they get married, and they die. And they contribute a little bit to society. But the people that are truly happy, that are truly grateful, the people that truly know that they can create their lives, live extraordinary lives. And I really wish that on you guys, to be honest. And it's never too late to start. Like if you're 50 or 60, my mom's, I'm not going to say her age, but she's my mom. She's like, should I get an iPhone? I'm like, yeah. Because I know the iPhone will just rewire her brain to be more creative, to look at things a little bit differently. I know that because of Instagram. I look at photos and everything else. It's never too early. It's never too late to start. It's never too early to start. So what does that have to do with addiction? Is that people in the matrix, 95% of the people are in the matrix. And people want them to be in the matrix. The government wants them to be in the matrix, and it's good. Like, in general, it's good because there's organization, there's boundaries, there's morals, there's ethics, there's rules. But the problem is that people feel that that's it. That they're in that little square box in life, and there's nothing on the outside that they can attain that they want to attain. So what does that have to do with addiction? I just came back from getting food. And there's this place that's really busy every single time I pass by. And there's a line that goes outside the door. And there's probably about, 15 people that I walked by. And as I was walking by, what I like to do is I like to see where they are on their phone. In other words, are they web browsing? Are they on Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. It gives me an idea of where because all these people are younger. They're all in their 20s or whatever. It gives me an idea of like where society is thinking, because I see the screens of the people and I'm like, oh, okay, they're now looking at news. Right now it's social media. In the future it could be video, it could be then news, or it could be, I don't know, but right now it's social media. And I literally went down and I saw probably, I don't know, about half of the 15 to 20 people that were online. They were all on social media. And all they were doing was just using their thumb, just scrolling. So what does that have to do with addiction and being in the matrix? If you are addicted, so this is my definition. If you can't go a week without something in your life that's a vice or something that gives you pleasure or entertainment, okay, there's two types. So a vice is alcohol and smoking and gambling and sex and things like that. Then there's entertainment, which is social media and reality TV and YouTube videos, except for mine, of course. And then there's the good things, which is like eating healthy, meditation and whatever else you put in that category, like waking up early and exercising and things like that. I'm not talking about this. This is good. You should be addicted to exercise, obviously not to the extreme, but eating healthy and all those things. I'm talking about the entertainment side. If you can't, and this is the definition of addiction, if you can't go a week without it, you are addicted. If you can't go a week without reality TV, social media, looking at social media, alcohol, eating like crap, or whatever, if you can't go a week without it, you are addicted. And the problem is, you keep on adding this addiction, and then it's a habit, and then it's really hard to break. And I know, because recently, within the last 2 months, I was addicted to sugar, like hardcore. And I didn't really talk about it at the time because I was embarrassed. And I couldn't break it. It was insane. Like my body went through like withdrawal. And I talked about it with my friend recently. I literally withdrew that from my life. My life has just gone like this. More business in my life. I'm calmer. I'm fun. I'm way more entertaining. I don't know if you see a quality uptick in my YouTube videos. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. But going back to addiction is that I was addicted. And when you're addicted, you do, especially only to a vice like sugar. That's the worst thing because that leads to diabetes and cancer. It's known as feeding your cancer cells. If you could take out one thing in your life, it is 100% sugar. Take out sugar, then take out wheat, then take out alcohol, and it goes down. And if you do in moderation, I don't even eat sugar anymore. It doesn't click for me because it just doesn't work with my body, and it doesn't work with your body as well. But going back to addiction, everyone on that line that I passed was looking down at their phone. All I saw were about half of the people, and they're all on social media. So what does that mean? We are in a time that addiction is so easy. Because as humans, we need to be entertained. Back in the day, our entertainment were storytelling. Our entertainment was fighting wars and talking with neighboring tribes, was negotiating with the chief about how much food and rations and water we should get. It was negotiating trade between fur and alcohol and spices. And back in the day, anything earlier than 300 years ago. Until we were actually humans, like way back when, like primal, and like we're just evolved apes. People don't understand that. But now, because entertainment is so prevalent, we are addicted, okay? So number one, the step to get off of addiction is number one, just like at AA. I have two friends that entered AA, and I'm glad they did. And the first step is Alcohol Anonymous, if you are outside the United States, is that you admit it. And for me, when I was on the sugar kick, I had to admit it. I'm like, dude, you are freaking addicted. And it took only a month. And I'm like, whoa, I am addicted. Like literally every meal I needed to have sugar. It was terrible. And I'm talking about like something simple like a cookie. Like I couldn't even eat without it. That's an addiction. I went through it. I'm like, okay, first you have to admit it. Number two is you have to see what other bad triggers are going on in your life. Like what is this leading to? For me, I didn't exercise. I didn't call on for business. I just wasn't as happy. I felt shame and embarrassed. So you have to find out what else is this factoring into. All right. The third step, which is even harder, is that a way to replace it, because it's really hard to just remove it. All right. So if you're addicted to alcohol, my friend goes out and now he gets he gets just tonic water, and he needs to fill his. It sounds bad, but he needs to fill his mouth, because if he sat at a bar or a party, he's gonna want to drink. So now he fills his need, his desire, with something that's non-alcoholic. You have to look at your life and honestly say, what am I addicted to? Seeing all of those kids who are in their 20s or younger addicted to their phone, you can't just go sit on a line and enjoy nothing on social media you're going to view and be like, oh, okay, my life is better. In that, 10 minutes waiting online to get food. If you can't sit online, if you can't do anything without your phone being in your hand, you're addicted. You're addicted. And I'm not saying this all the time. I would be like one of those kids when I'm really busy. But I'm saying you have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You have to check yourself, where am I addicted? It could be gaming, social media, sugar, anything. And then otherwise, like I said, you're going to wreck yourself. You're going to wreck yourself. In other words, you're going to wake up and you're going to be obese or diabetic if you're eating sugar. If you are addicted to gaming, you're going to get bad grades, maybe fail out of college, maybe be bankrupt. Whatever you're addicted to, laziness. Dude, I honestly wish like I can just go up to those people and just say, and just preach this. But the thing is, the Matrix, the people in the Matrix, they don't want to hear this because they're in it and they're comfortable. All right. So this is a sort of step-by-step, but this is really me venting to you guys to say, listen, you got to be aware of you're addicted to your cell phone. And I was too, until I started hearing it over and over. They're like, you're addicted to your cell phone. I forgot where I first heard it. And then they say, listen, to leave the addiction, you have to sit emotionally involved in something you're addicted to and not do it for an hour. So for me, when I had a deep desire, craving for sugar, I had to sit there and feel the angst and feel it that I was saying no to it. If you're addicted to your phone or social media or news or reality TV, sit in front of your TV with the remote next to you and train yourself and just say, listen, this is going to suck for an hour. But that 1 hour will save you hours in the future. And it worked for me. I sat there and I said, and I just, it was a full body reaction because I was fully addicted. All right. So if you're addicted to your phone or social media, have your phone right next to you. And in the full emotional feelings and body that you'll want to have to pick it up and check your cell phone and mail and social media and YouTube, obviously my channel. But leave it there. Leave it right next to you and feel it. And then after an hour, you'll go, I survived and I'm good and I'm better. And then you go, okay, I'm good. And then you just go throughout your day. And I'm telling you right now, that will help because it kicked me off my sugar craving and I've never been happier. Oh, anyway, I hope you guys are awesome. I'm actually reading a book. I don't have my Kindle. Oh, here it is. I'm reading a book about fear, anxiety, depression, things like that. I'm reading it mostly for fear, the fear thing. So that book review is going to be coming out probably next couple of days. Have an awesome day. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave me comments below about what you might be addicted to. If you have any questions about where you want to take the YouTube channel, I have a ton of content because I am just absorbing so much right now. I watch YouTube videos at 2 times the speed, reading books like a banshee, and it's You should watch my videos at 2 times. So instead of a 15-minute video, it's down to 7.5. Have an awesome day. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know any comments below. All my social mediums are also linked below. Have an awesome day. Talk to you soon.